Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of our Progressive Podcast. I'm going to be one of your hosts, Ayden Jennings, and my other host is
Jacob Thompson.
And we will bring on features in the future. Today's topic we're going to cover is elective classes. So, from my standpoint, I'd like a culinary class because I can cook and do everything like that. What about you, Jacob?
Yeah, I would also like a culinary class. I think it'd be good to make food and try it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's honestly a necessary skill nowadays with everything that's been cooking and cleaning, you know?
Yeah, I also think most students don't know how to cook food, so I think it's an important life lesson that the school can teach.
I agree. I mean, I know a lot of my friends don't know how to cook, and like simple things. I mean, if it's just like learning how to boil water or boil eggs or stuff like that,
Yeah, I think many of us do need these important cooking skills for later on in the future after high school, so they're not eating top ramen 24/7.
Yeah, or going out and buying fast food. I totally get that, Cooking is pretty much like a necessity to humans, and it would be very beneficial. I mean, we used to have a culinary class here. I don't really know what happened to it,
Yeah, there also was one at Wilson a while ago before COVID.
Yeah, and I think there should be levels to it. In my personal opinion, I think there should be levels. Like if you don't know how to cook at all, you get the beginning class, and if like you know how to fairly cook, like that's when you take the advanced classes. So
Yeah, but I feel like there would be like some sort of money problem on buying foods with like if you're going to cook steak or whatever, there's a expensive cost to that at some point.
I think it should be maybe possibly a club, if it is maybe not a class, but I feel like it could genuinely be a class. I mean, we just got a new ceramics class, and that's all about hands-on learning experience, and we have a new construction class over there that has had to purchase all their equipment. I mean, think about that. That's like 400 bucks on just a drill, So.
Yeah. Compared to the ceramics class, though, they didn't have to buy anything, but the teacher does want us to buy the artwork or the ceramics we make, which was not in our syllabus, so there was altercation with that.
Yeah, I heard about that. That was pretty crazy for you guys. So, in my personal opinion, like, what do you feel like would be a main reason to have a cooking class beside like it being a necessary skill?
I think it would just be cool to show like your parents you made something at school, or you were able to like eat food besides school lunch, because some of the school lunches are iffy.
Yeah, and that'll probably be covered on another episode of this podcast. So, yeah, I mean, it's honestly kind of a necessary skill nowadays. I mean, everybody's eating fast food and definitely are seeing obesity in the American state. So, yeah. Okay, what about any other elective classes? What about welding classes or, stuff like that?
Yeah, so I think a welding class or like some sort of option for a trade school would be cool to like, because there's no class to like know if you want to do a trade school. There's no like.
I get that. I mean, we already have construction, robotics, engineering, so why not bring on welding as another trade school offer,
Yeah, because that way people get to experience it like earlier and know if they want to do it later on in life or they just want to do something else.
And that's what I genuinely think high school is about. It's about like learning to go out there and do these certain jobs or figure out what your real passion is. And then college is like you get in and you get your job finally, So.
Yeah, I feel like that's true. Because most of the time students like go into college and they switch up their major like 5 different times because they realize that's not what they want to do. So I feel like it would be nice to have some sort of class that would lead you in the path you want to pursue.
Exactly, and not just that, but like it saves you time and a lot of money. Because like, let's be honest, college is pretty freaking expensive. And not just that, but if you end up going to a college that you thought you had a major in, maybe you switch your major and they don't have that major. So.
Yeah. So, Ayden, have you ever thought about taking a welding class or a trade school?
I've always thought about maybe doing construction for a bit or engineering, but honestly, welding was always like a possibility. I'm more a mechanic guy. I'm not a big fan of welding, but welding does seem to have its big uses nowadays, especially with the production era we're in. So,
Yeah, I think it would be good to have like some sort of welding experience, just for like if you want to do a DIY at home, you would know how to do that.
That's
if you need to fix something.
Yeah, that's honestly what I think is really important. Is like just like even if you do it for a year because it's an elective, like you just get that experience so that in the future you're not paying thousands and thousands of dollars on these projects you can simply do. You know, rent the materials, rent the equipment, and like you
Yeah.
go out and do it yourself. You know, so.
Yeah, so I think it would save a lot of money if you were to know how.
And as highly like known as Center is, it's fairly small, but I feel like we have a good chunk of classes that we really like enjoy. So like the new construction class,
Yeah.
I had it for a bit and it was pretty fun. And then same with the ceramics. I mean, you were
Yeah.
talking about the ceramics. How's the ceramics class going?
The ceramics is pretty cool. We're making like bowls right now, and they look pretty good. So yeah.
Is there anything like really like that speaks to you for ceramics? Is it like possibly a major you'll go into, or
I don't really think I'll go for it as a major, just because I'm really not that good at it, and I'm not that good at drawing either. So they kind of go hand in hand with ceramics.
They really do, yeah.
So I'm not the best drawer. So
Yeah,
my artworks aren't that amazing.
I get that. I used to do art for a little bit, and then I was just
Yeah.
like, I tried to do ceramics because I was a TA for ceramics, and I was just like, yeah, this clearly isn't me, you know. So
Yeah,
I get that, you know. I mean, we have many fields here at Center High School. I mean, we have engineering, robotics, construction now, and ceramics as well, which is another form of art. But it's like so many categories that you can really learn from, especially the MCA program. Speaking from the
Yeah.
point of an MCA student, and I know you are too, because
Yeah, the
Right.
MCA is pretty cool.
yeah.
I don't really think we have much of an engineering program right now because the teacher left.
Oh yeah.
I think we only have like AP Computer Science
Mhm.
as of right now until we get a new teacher.
But yeah, like speaking even on media, like MCA, it's just like they offer so many wide varieties of like, because there's so many
Yeah.
things of media, you know. It's like, what do
There's-
you want to cover?
Yeah,
So-
there's like so many opportunities to do things that
exactly.
you might find a passion in.
Exactly. I mean, that's how it is, and that's what high school should be for. Is you're meant to find that passion you're looking for. So
Yeah.
yeah, even like the music band. I mean, they do music, but what about a marching band? Possibility that we could get a marching band here at Center. What do you think?
Yeah, I think a marching band would be cool. What would you think about a marching band?
I don't know. I feel like our school, like all the high schools and colleges I go to, have some type of band that's not just sit in a chair and sing for you. You know, all
Yeah.
the colleges I've looked at so far and I've gone to personally, like they always have a band out there, either sitting in the stands, and they have it personally as two separates. So one is like sitting in the stands playing for you, and then some of them even come down and march onto the field for you later. So I think personally, Center High School could like have maybe a small marching band, as we aren't fairly a huge school. So
I think it would also like help bring school spirit into like some of the games that we have or sports that we have. So I think it would definitely be like a way to bring more people to the games if there's like more than just that one sport to see.
I definitely agree. I mean, think about it. If you go to a high school and you're just like thinking, oh, I want to go to a game. I mean, football is cool and everything, but now Center has a marching band. Wouldn't you be like, hey, I want to go see what a marching band like in high school is, you know?
Yeah.
And that could even have more like effects on drawing in more students. So like maybe possibly like I was looking at a high school that was like, and I'm a music fan. I'm like, do I want to go to this school with a marching band, or do I want to go to this school without a marching band? In my personal opinion, I'm picking the marching band.
Yeah, I think it definitely would help to like experience more things than just like a sit and just play music type of class. I also seen some cool performances of marching bands on like TikTok, so I think it would be like a cool thing to experience if our school did have one.
Yeah, and I totally get that. I mean, and these are all just like electives we're talking about here. I
Yeah.
mean, think about it. I mean, look, we have culinary class. That could be an elective. Honestly, it could be even be a club. You know, if a teacher
Yeah.
wanted to come out and make a club for that. And then we had to talk about the welding class. I mean, that could be an elective as well, if not like, I wouldn't say a course because not everybody's in love with welding, but that could be another elective. And I personally feel like the elective field is really missing something. Like, I feel like we're losing a lot in that category.
Yeah, I think so too. What are your thoughts on like a different kind of elective, like a mechanic shop or something like that?
I think mechanic shop would actually be really beneficial because it's a class for humans as a society that function around cars. Like literally in the morning, I drive a car to get to school. And like I know you drive
Yeah,
and that gets you around. So personally cars are a thing of our present time that we need to know more about. Being a mechanic could be as easy as fixing a tire that could cost you $200 or fixing a light that could cost you like $40 when you could do it in like 5 minutes.
Especially, or just like changing your oil or knowing how to do the simple things to a car, that will save you like a lot of time than going to a mechanic shop and having them change it and wasting more money than you need to.
Exactly. Why wait 2 days and pay like all this money for your car to get its tires rotated or fixed when you could do it at home in like 2 hours and save like a lot of money that could go into something more important. So
Yeah.
I personally think Center could expand on their elective classes. I mean, I'm not so sure about the funding we have, but I'm sure there's a way that we can reach out and find some type of funds to help the students grow and learn.
Or start like some kind of fundraiser to help get to those points.
Exactly. I mean, reach out to people that are important, such as like Scott Lair, who's our superintendent, and like maybe even go talk to Mr. Ferguson, who's
Our principal.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that would probably help to get some sort of idea of like what type of funding our school has to help get further.
And speaking on electives, I mean, we only have Spanish here, which kind of makes sense as we have a major influence of Spanish Americans in California, speaking from California, as I was born in California,
Yeah.
But I feel like that we should be able to offer more electives along the wise of different languages. Because I know we used to have Russian.
Yeah, we did.
And that's becoming a major issue because we have a lot of Russian influence here at Center High School. Personally speaking, we do. And it would be better to have Russian so that, one, we could kind of understand what everybody's saying, and two, so that we can just, like, all be in this together. Because that's one of the things that Center High School hits on is united. We are united as a whole.
Yeah.
So, personally, I feel that would be beneficial. I mean, and maybe smaller languages like Japanese, Korean, like anything to
that
the point.
will like help when you like if you want to travel the world or something. If you like learned a little of that in high school, you'd be able to travel places and get by a little easier.
Exactly, and like also going back to that culinary class, I mean, think about that. Like if you're cooking, you could cook foreign food, so you know if you like the food there, so that when you go there, you know what you like and like what you really want to eat. You get it? Yeah.
Like a sense of what you would like to eat.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing as a Center High School student. I believe that our elective field is lacking, but I can't just complain about it because there are also some good things about it as well.
Yeah.
But I feel as Center High School, we need to work on our electives and have some more diversity to it.
Yeah, I think having a lot more diversity would help students pick more because I know like juniors and seniors, once they're able to get early outs, they pick 2 early outs because they don't really want to do any more electives than they want to. Like rather than just doing it for something they would be interested in, they kind of take them because they have to.
I feel that way too. I mean, personally, I have an early out, and I never wanted an early out, but the elective choices were so weak for me that I would not want to sit in a class for another hour and 30 minutes riding all day, I feel like if I had a mechanic elective or a culinary elective or another foreign language, I'd totally be taking it instead of having this early out.
Yeah.
So.
Or even like an elective that's more hands-on than most of them are.
Mm-hmm. Rather than just sitting at a desk all day and doing something, I feel like we need more hands-on electives.
Yeah, because I'm taking astronomy, and like right now it's just sitting there taking like notes after notes, taking large quizzes with like 60 questions, and it just gets to a point where it's really boring because you're just sitting there writing notes all day, and you don't really feel like you're learning much.
And I get that. I mean, astronomy is a beautiful thing. I mean, let's give it some justice there, but the class itself doesn't give it justice.
Yeah,
he
I don't
tries
really
his
think it's
best.
well structured.
Yeah, he tries his best, but the honest truth is, like, you can't really reach out to astronomy lovers by sitting at a desk and teaching them about it. You got to go out and let them go see the stars or go to a planetarium or something like that. So if it's possible, is there a way to get our classes more field trips to things that could help someone feel more engaged in the subject?
Yeah, or even just like making it as a club where like the class and club kind of link up, so you could go, out with the telescope with the teacher or something and go see the stars and see kind of what you're learning about in class.
Yeah, and I totally get that. So, all right. Well, that was our first episode of the Progressive Podcast. So, again, my name is Ayden Jennings, and my co-host is
Jacob Thompson.
And we will be back next week with another episode. Peace.